Coach, this past weekend on the road to Lubbock and Midwestern, dropped both games. Just talk about what you saw from your team this past weekend.
Yeah, there's an incredible amount of maturity that has to go into both of these games, and especially when they're away. Both teams are playing great. Obviously, Lubbock Christian has always been really, really good, and they execute so well and play really good at home. And our main mindset going into that game was just to contain them on the defensive end. Grace Foster was a main point that we focused on, and we held her to less than 39 this time, which was better, but we can't let the other ones go off. And it's just a learning experience, especially for our younger group, but at this point we can't I could say several things, but at this point we can't come up with excuses. We just have to have results at this point, and we just didn't get what we needed to done.
Let's talk about the defensive end. Kenai Williams sets an LSC record 15 blocks in one game. You also set a team record 20 blocks for the LSC in one game. Just talk about your team's defensive performance and what impressed you most on that end.
I really like what we've been doing with Naya this year as far as defense. We've been allowing her to pull through, and what that means is she's sinking back off of her players, and that's helped us because her player usually is a non-shooter on the perimeter, and it has allowed her to be in the paint more and protect it. And that's been her main focus this year, is just making sure that we play so many teams that like to get downhill, and they're so fast, and they try to get to the paint. And so one of the things that we've always focused on is trying to score more points in the paint than the other team, and Naya obviously has helped us with that, with her defense inside. And so proud of her and the way that she came out and played in both games, really. I felt like she played well and did what she needed to in order to help us win.
Just looking ahead this week, you're back after a 4-game road trip. It's been a couple weeks. What must be done to execute in late game situations and close the game and finish the regular season on a strong note starting this week?
Yeah, I just don't think that we can afford to let those teams go on the runs that we've been letting them do. I mean, we get down. That's happened several times this year. We've been blessed and had a little bit of luck and came back and won some of those, but that's a lesson that we have to learn. We can't, and maybe it's on the coaching side. Maybe I need 15 timeouts instead of just one during those times, but we have to regroup, and we've been teaching this team, like even out on the court, regroup and come together. You have to get through adversity together. It's not going to be, oh, you made the mistake, so that's on you. For women especially, it's hard to get over those mistakes, but that's something that they have to learn, even for life. Life is hard, and there's going to be bumps in the road, but how you respond to those determines the outcome of the game. And that's hard to do by yourself. You have to do it as a team, and that starts with me.
You kind of touched on kind of like limiting the runs from any opponent whatsoever, but focusing on this week's opponents. Texas Women's on Thursday, UT Tyler on Saturday. First time you've seen them this season. What do you expect from those matchups?
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier for us from here on out, and I have a ton of respect for both of these teams that we're about to face. Obviously, very well coached and very smart players. They have a great balance with their inside-out game, which makes any team difficult to guard. Texas Women's, they have the player of the year on their team, and she's a post player. That is something that, we've got to do a better job of overall. If you look at all of our losses, post players have been going off on us. And so we've really got to focus this week in practice on how to guard that. But not only that, again, and I sound like I'm repetitive here, but it's the rotation out of that defense that we have to get better at. And it's not the first pass, it's the second pass. And you can't come out of a trap and just stand there and watch. You have to run. You have to run out of that trap, and so that we can guard the next pass, because at this level anybody can hit a wide open three. And if you give it to them, they're probably going to take it. And chances are they'll probably make it. So you see that with Lubbock Christian. I think they've shot 50% from the three both times we've played them, which is a very high percentage. And whether they do that against anybody else or not, I blame it on our defense, just because we have to be there when they catch. we have to be there when they catch them. If we learn that lesson, we'll be one of the top defending teams in the nation.
Thank you, Coach.
Freshmen think that this is guarding